Ever ordered a cold brew maker that looked amazing in the pictures, only to find it either leaks, takes forever to brew, or just makes coffee that tastes like watered-down espresso? I've been there, and that hesitation is exactly why I'm breaking down the Biduhaev Premium Cold Brew Coffee System today. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I've spent the last couple of weeks testing this brewer alongside a few other popular models, and I want to help you avoid the disappointment that comes from buying something that looks good on paper but falls short in real life. First off, let's talk about the core promise of this machine, a smooth, acid-free brew that you can pull from a glass carafe and sip straight away, or use as a base for iced lattes, cold teas, even wine or sake infusions. The idea of a single device that handles coffee, tea, wine, and sake is appealing, especially for the small space kitchen where you don't want a separate apparatus for each beverage. The Biduhaev system is also a 2015 IF World Design Gold Award winner, so you can expect a look that will sit nicely on a countertop instead of hiding in a cabinet. Now, who should actually consider buying this? If you're someone who drinks cold brew on a daily basis, say, a morning ritual of a tall glass of smooth coffee before heading to work, or you're a tea enthusiast who loves the gentle extraction that cold drip can provide, this brewer fits right into that routine. It also appeals to hobbyists who enjoy experimenting with infusing wine or sake with coffee flavors for a unique cocktail. The 2-liter capacity means you can brew enough for a small household or a weekend brunch without constantly refilling. On the flip side, if you're looking for a one-off novelty, or you only occasionally make cold drinks, this might be overkill. The system relies on gravity and a slow drip that can take anywhere from 6 to 12 hours to finish a batch, so you need to plan ahead. People who want instant caffeine or who can't commit to that overnight setup will likely be better off with a quick brew cold brew concentrate or a simple French press. Let's walk through the setup. The unit comes as a single, elegant glass carafe perched on a sleek metal frame with a drip tray underneath. You fill the top reservoir with cold water, add your coffee grounds or tea leaves into the middle chamber, and let gravity do the work. The first thing I noticed is how quiet the process is. There's no motor, just a steady, silent drip. For apartment living, that's a big win, no buzzing or humming to disturb neighbors. In practice, the acid-free claim holds up. After a full 8-hour brew, the coffee tasted noticeably smoother than my standard hot brew, with less of that sharp bite that can irritate a sensitive stomach. I tried a 1:15 coffee-to-water ratio, which is a common recommendation, and the result was a mellow cup that paired nicely with a splash of milk. When I swapped the coffee grounds for a loose-leaf black tea, the same drip method produced a clean, bright tea that retained the delicate aromas, something you don't always get with hot steeping. I also experimented with a white wine base and a small handful of coffee beans for a coffee-infused spritzer. After a night's brew, the wine picked up a subtle roast note without becoming bitter, making for an interesting apéritif. Strengths start to become clear when you think about the day-to-day workflow. First, the design eliminates the need for separate filters or messy cleanup, the drip tray catches any overflow, and the glass components are dishwasher safe. Second, the capacity means you can brew a batch on Sunday and have cold brew ready for the entire week, saving both time and energy. Third, the aesthetic is genuinely a conversation piece if you have guests over. The sleek frame often sparks questions about the process, which can be a fun demo. There are a few practical downsides to keep in mind. The brewing time, as mentioned, is long, and you have to be diligent about keeping the water cold. If you leave it on the counter for too long before starting, the temperature can rise, affecting the final flavor. The system also requires a fairly coarse grind for coffee. A fine grind can clog the drip channel, leading to an uneven brew or a halted drip. I had to adjust my grinder setting after the first attempt, which added an extra step for newcomers. Additionally, while the unit looks premium, the glass carafe is somewhat fragile. Handle with care, especially when moving it from the kitchen to the fridge. Value for money is where the product sits in the market. Priced in the mid-range for cold brew makers, you're paying not just for the glass carafe but also for the design award and the multi-beverage capability. If you compare it to a basic cold brew pitcher that only does coffee, you're getting a broader utility set. For a household that actually uses those extra functions like making cold tea or experimenting with infused wines, the extra cost feels justified. If your focus